Okay.
I am here.
Hey, John.
Hello.
That's everyone. If you want to call the meeting to order.
Okay. Due to COVID-19, this meeting is being held virtually as permitted by law during this emergency. A link to the meeting registration will be made available as of 4 p.m. today at the Lower Allen Township website and on its Facebook page. Meeting is being recorded. You just heard. The recording will also be made available on the website. Want to call the meeting to order. During the meeting, we ask that you mute your microphone and turn off your video unless you are a member of the Development Authority or its staff. If you wish to speak on an item or would like to comment, please either raise your hand or use the chat feature to ask your host a question. The host will ensure the authority recognizes you. Once you are recognized, the host will unmute you and request you to start your video if you have it available. The host may remove any participant that uses lewd behavior or language or disrupts the meeting. Proof of publication is available. Next item is an action item. Authorize BL to prepare the final land development plan for lot number 3 at Lower Allen Commons in the amount of $59,000 even. Is there any discussion on that?
Just that those of us who reviewed it, is it a, I assume a customary all-inclusive contract that seemed to include everything we needed?
Yeah, it seemed pretty comprehensive. There's a couple of things that, you know, that they're expecting the township staff to do, in stormwater inspections and items of that sort. But other than that, it seemed like major items were covered.
I agree.
And also, they're familiar with the site, and they did the hotel plan site, right?
That's what, yep.
Okay. I'll make the motion to authorize BL to prepare final land development plan for lot 3 at Lower Allen Commons in the amount of $59,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by John, second by Ed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. I heard 4 people. Is that? Are all the members there?
Ed's not on, so it would be 4-0.
4. Okay, so then it'll be 4-0. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. Next item is restructure the loan with Lower Allen Township. Aaron, you want to cover that?
Yes, so as you may recall, when we first started this project, the Bonton project, we borrowed $810,000 from the township as our 10% down for the property. We eventually ended up then not paying 8.1 million for the property, but since we'd already paid that amount, it was already there, and so it already went onto the settlement sheet. So we still owe the township that money. We also still have our loan with F&M. However, to restructure the loan with F&M, there's some costs that we would have to incur. And I don't know, given our hopeful time frame, that it makes sense for us to really go back and restructure our loan with F&M. But I do think that we will have this loan from the township for at least another year. And so it makes some sense to go back to the township and ask to renegotiate with them. And also, we won't really incur any expenses because it'll just be the Development Authority asking the Board of Commissioners if they can restructure their loan. I spoke to our finance director and our township manager about this, and they both said that the township isn't trying to make a profit off of the development authority. They're just trying to make sure that they're doing what's fair for the taxpayer, and saying if we had that money, it would be invested somewhere, and we want to get, what the fair rate of return is, which at the time was 4.2, which is what we're paying, and now it's closer to 1.7. So they said that they felt that that would be an appropriate ask, but I wanted to see if the members of the Development Authority felt that that was something that we should pursue. To date, we've almost spent $90,000 in interest just on that 810,000. So it is real money.
Have we actually made payments to the township on principal or interest?
No,
So the ask would be to reduce the interest rate.
yes, but henceforth, or what we could do is we can make it retroactive to say that it is reflective of the market and say, can you make it what it should have been all along? But I mean, at this point, it saves us money. Even if we paid 4.2 today and next week we were paying 1.7, it still saves us money. And it doesn't hurt the township.
Okay, so are you asking for authorization from us to make that request to the Board of Commissioners?
Or yes, or if you think it's a good idea or not a good idea, or how you are interested, if you would like me to proceed, we can develop a letter and I can present it to the board at their next meeting, or I'm open to.
Well, as someone who's going to have to vote on this at the Board of Commissioners, I think it's a good idea to have a contract, and I think it's a good idea to have a fair interest rate.
Yeah, I agree with Ed. We don't want to hurt the profitability of the authority to do other projects after this one, and if it's fair, it should be fair to both parties.
Right.
Would you like me to develop a contract with a proposed interest rate to take to the Board of Commissioners? Do you want me to proceed with that now or come back in September?
This is September, but I'd like to do it. Go ahead and start preparing it now, and maybe at our meeting on the 21st, we can approve it
Okay,
or make tweaks to it.
okay,
And that meeting would be on the 21st. The commissioners meet next then on the 28th. So is that something that the president can just direct Aaron to prepare for consideration at our next meeting, or do we need some kind of motion?
I don't think you need a motion, John, because you really don't. I mean, I think you're going to take the vote when you see the actual document and interest rate.
Aaron, back on that topic, have you talked with our bank facility about renegotiating that deal?
I have not, just because I think I would be the one doing that and also be the one working on a closing. I thought that it might be more beneficial to spend time working on coming to a closing at the property rather than renegotiating the price. But we will still have about $1 million left with F&M, even if we were to close before the end of the year. So, I mean, that's not nothing either. I think we thought we'd spend about $19,000 to renegotiate our loan or refinance our loan.
So what's our level of indebtedness now?
So overall, the whole thing is like 8.8 million.
And that,
8.2. And with F&M, it's 7.7.
okay, so we owe F&M 7.7. And our interest rate is 4-ish?
4.2. Now, yes, what we owe them.
And we think that would be skinny down to probably 2 something.
So the loan with them would be skinny down to, I think, closer to 1, a little more. And then we would owe close to 900,000 with the township. So we'll have 2 that we have, but the one with F&M is around 1.
I'm sorry, around 1
million.
million that we've utilized.
1
Or-
million that would be left if we were able to come to closing.
I was asking about the interest rate. So we're at about 4.25, and we'd be able to get the interest rate down to about what?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have not talked to F&M, so I don't know what they'd be able to get down to. Now, I do know that the Township Sewer Authority and the township just restructured some of their loans, and they were getting about 1.7, 1.8. And when I
Okay.
talked to the township about us, the Development Authority, restructuring our loan with the township, that was the suggested amount, was 1.7, 1.8, around there for the interest rate. And we're at 4.2 now.
Yeah. Weren't we a little bit higher than the municipal type rate because it was a for-profit, or wasn't a normal municipal activity? Or am I
The
not
township
remembering that correctly?
The township backed the loan, so they did view it as a municipal
Okay.
activity, but it wasn't tax-free. Wasn't tax
Oh, okay.
exempt.
Yeah, okay. I knew there was something about that. Okay.
I mean,
Seems
the
like
math would suggest that if we could get that down to 2, even if it's only for 3 months, that seems like a substantial savings.
Okay,
Yeah, it would be. It adds up quick.
And then if we carry $1 million for another year, let's just say, for argument's sake, that would be, beneficial.
okay.
I'd at least have those conversations with the bank to see what they
Yeah.
would be willing to do.
Okay,
The worst they can say is no.
yes. Well,
I can't,
I think my concern is that as staff, it's me, so I have, if it comes down to time frame, I don't want it to be me working on restructuring a loan and me trying to come to closing. I mean, possibly I could do both, but I think it's gonna be more beneficial that we spend time coming to closing. So that was maybe a bit of my concern. We actually have these numbers, and we can talk about this in executive session because we kind of laid this out a little bit.
okay.
It wasn't necessarily for this topic, but we have some real numbers that we can actually look at based
Okay.
on offers.
Okay.
But the direction I'm hearing is then develop a contract and interest rate with the township and bring that to the September 21st meeting for adjustments, and then possibly take it to the township on their 28th meeting, and also reach out to F&M to talk about restructuring our loan with them.
Yeah.
It might not be much. We've done it in the past, and if they're open to it, it might be very simple. That
Okay.
their attorney will draw up something, and Steve will review it, and might not cost much at all. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I know we've done that in the past.
I will look into it. I think the next item is to recess into executive session.
Okay. Or is there anything we want to bring up before we go into executive session? Anything else that has,
We're gonna recess to executive session and not adjourn to executive session.
oh, okay. Okay. Alrighty, then, at 6:16 PM, we'll take a timeout and go to executive session.
And I'm going to not record this portion.
Okay. Recording?
We're recording.
Okay. We're coming out of executive session in which we discussed real estate matters at Lower Allen Commons. We have some suggested topics here. First is we need a motion to approve the extension, 6-month extension of the fence contract for Lower Allen Commons. I have a motion.
So moved, and just to clarify, that's with National Construction Rentals.
Second,
Okay, I don't know. Okay, we have a motion by John, second by Ed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sound like 4-0, Aaron.
Thanks.
The next item is to review the letters of intent proposals. These were discussed in executive session, and are there any motions to accept or reject or move on with those?
Mr. Chairman, I am prepared to make a motion to authorize an acceptance signature on a letter of intent to purchase Lower Allen Commons submitted by Frontier Development.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by John, second by Sal. Any further discussion? Hearing none, then need a vote on that motion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Okay, I couldn't tell whether that was 4-0 or 3-0, but
Looks like 4-0.
4-0? Okay. All right. Very well. Any other business to be brought forth before the authority? The next meeting date's less than 2 weeks away, Monday, September 21st, 2020 at 6:00 p.m. And that's going to be in-person meeting, Aaron, or not?
It can go either way. We have been having our normal meetings in person, but the extension would allow us to do it via Zoom if you so choose.
Any feedback from the other board members? I personally prefer in-person meetings, but easier to read body language. But
I agree with you, Max.
Fine with me.
It's fine.
John, you're working there.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay, then let's hold the next meeting in person.
Okay.
Do you have to re-advertise that or anything, Aaron, or
Nope, we're good. We advertised.
still from the original?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, nothing else to bring forth. Have a good rest of the week, and John, it's up to you.
Oh, I will move to adjourn this meeting.
And I will second.
Okay. Okay, motion by John, second by Sal. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Take care.
Thank
See you
you.
again soon.
Thank you.
Yep.
Aaron,
Okay, bye.
before you go,
Yes.
what do you want to do
You,
about checks?
am I able to run by right now? If not, it's not a big deal. I just,
No, if you want to, that works really well for me, as long as it's okay with you.
that's totally fine. All right, thanks, Sal. I'll see you then shortly.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Good night.
Night.